Hi, Disney friends. Happy Friday. How are you? You made it. Be our guest today because I am definitely excited to welcome this weekend to be my guest. I cannot wait. Need a little break. How about you? How was your week this week? Coffee today. Like that should surprise you. Yeah, so it's been another crazy week full of surprises in the vacation planning world. And the thing that sort of kept coming up over and over again this week is, wow, Walt Disney World is super busy. Yeah, Walt Disney World is busy for the next few weeks. It actually is sold out, if you want to use that word. Park passes are no longer available for most of the month of March and April. And they're at capacities. They're still at their reduced capacity. The theme parks are. And that capacity is full. A lot of people are there. So I thought, since this is a topic everybody's interested in, that this week I would kind of discuss some of my best tips and strategies for when the parks are going to be crowded, and what you can do to help have a better time when you're going to the theme parks when they're going to be crowded. And even if you don't expect them to be crowded, you show up and they are. So if we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Sara Matube. I'm with Middle of the Magic Travel, and I am here to make planning your Disney vacation easy and simple and hopefully a little bit fun, and take all the stress and hassle out of planning your vacation. So my number one tip, if you're going to visit when it's crowded or busy, is book with a vacation planner who can help you. Going in with a plan and going in with a good expectation of how things could go, sort of an eyes wide open situation is going to help you. You're going to be better prepared. So I've done the parks crowded. I've been planning vacations for more than 5 years. I'm happy to help you. I've kind of seen it all, including a global pandemic, and I can help you prepare for whatever possible scenarios may come up during your vacation. So my first tip would be book with a vacation planner, because then you have somebody in your corner and you can have somebody who can help you out if things are unexpectedly crowded or something changes with your travel plans, and they can help you prepare. The next thing I would say is, if it's possible, book as far in advance as you can. The Park Pass reservation system is a new system that Walt Disney World introduced when they reopened in July. And it basically is an appointment with Disney. You tell Disney, okay, on this day I'm going to this theme park, and Disney says, okay, great. We will expect you, we will count you in our capacity totals for the day. So once you have that Park Pass reservation, you're set. You can roll up any time of the day. You can even sleep in if you like and show up later. And you're guaranteed admission with that Park Pass reservation. You do also have to have a valid ticket for that day, but specifically for Park Pass reservations. So what that means is that gives you the flexibility to sort of play your day out as you see fit. If you want to wake up early and go to the parks and hit rope drop and get those big rides out of the way, great. Disney's ready for you. If you want to sleep in and roll in later in the afternoon, or if you want to leave and go back to your hotel and have a nap, or swim in the pool and then come back, you're still guaranteed to get in. It helps Disney with its crowd levels and its staffing, and helps it know, kind of gauge where everybody's going to be. Park hopping is still available with the Park Pass system as well. It just doesn't start until the afternoon. 2 p.m. is when park hopping starts. And this is all interesting because Disneyland, in their big announcement this week that they're getting ready to reopen for California residents, said also that they're going to be implementing a similar Park Pass reservation system. They haven't released the details of it yet, but I expect it will be pretty similar to what we see with Walt Disney World. What that means is it's better, it's smarter to plan your trip farther out in advance if you can, because that gives you the most options for how you want to spend your days and allows you to get your park passes in place and your reservations all set up. Park passes can be changed, so don't worry if you're planning your vacation far in advance, because you can change your park passes to any other park as long as there's still availability. So if you book your trip a few months in advance and your plans change, you might want to do your parks in a different order or spend one day at a different park. That's totally fine, and you can definitely still change it as long as there's still availability at the parks. But what we've seen, especially for March and April, is that park passes get booked up. And if you want to have the most options and the most flexibility, you're going to want to book your trip farther in advance rather than waiting till last minute. You definitely can still plan a vacation last minute. Absolutely. But a lot of people who decided last minute for spring break plans for Walt Disney World are having trouble putting those plans together because the park passes are not available. So that would be my first piece of advice, is plan farther in advance. With a vacation planner, of course. Pack your patience. Definitely, if you're going during a busy time, like spring break is a super busy time, as we found out. We've also seen very high crowds for 3-day weekends. So Martin Luther King weekend, President's Day weekend, Memorial Day, Labor Day, those 3-day weekends actually have been pretty busy at both Walt Disney World and Universal. So if you're going during, and of course, Christmas, Thanksgiving, those are very, very popular times to go. So if you're going to go during a popular time, know in advance that it's going to be a popular time and be prepared to see some crowds. Just because having the expectation that you're going to be able to go and have a good time, and you definitely can when it's busy. Absolutely. There's plenty of magic to be had. But knowing ahead of time it's going to be busy will help you feel a little bit better when you get there and see the crowds and kind of move with all the people. I recommend staying on property if you're going to Walt Disney World or Universal. I always recommend it. It's always a better experience. But especially if you're going during a busy time. And the reason is you don't want to have that excess travel time from wherever you're staying to have to drive in and then at the end of a long night drive out back to wherever you're staying off property. Staying on property gives you the opportunity for a super short commute. It makes it a lot easier if you want to run back to your hotel in the afternoon for a nap or a swim before you go back to the parks. It just allows a lot more flexibility in your plans and makes it so you don't have to wake up super early if you want to be there early. Also, if you're going to go early, okay, so not everybody is a morning person, and I totally understand that. And if you're going to go on vacation, you may want to sleep in, and that's absolutely your right and choice, and you should. I am not a morning person. I don't like waking up early, but when I'm at Disney, I'm a morning person because I'm too excited to get my day started. I wake up and I want to just hit the parks. So if you're going during a busy time, you're going to want, if you have, let me say this, if you're going during a busy time and you want to see and do a whole lot and you want to go on popular rides, it would be smarter to plan an earlier start to your day. Walt Disney World has been letting guests into the park sometimes up to an hour before actual posted park hour times. And what you can do is use that time that they're letting you in before park opening to get in line and get some of your big rides out of the way. So that will be the things that are going to have the longest lines later in the day when it's very busy. If you knock out one or two of those first thing in the morning when you get there right away, that cuts down on the amount of time that you're going to have to do waiting later in the day. Now, Walt Disney World is not using fast passes right now, and there's no news so far about when fast passes will return. So that is definitely a good way to knock off, say, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or Space Mountain, or my personal favorite, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway over at Hollywood Studios typically gets a super long line, but if you show up first thing and go there first and get it out of the way, A, it's more pleasant to wait in the line in the morning rather than the middle of the day. It's Florida. And B, it's out of the way. And, you're so excited to be there first thing in the morning, like, it doesn't even matter. You're spending the first part waiting in line. It's also a great time to hit Slinky Dog Dash. Both of the rides in Pandora at Animal Kingdom both get really long lines, so it's a good time to hit that. And, of course, your top Test Track and Soarin' and Frozen Ever After at Epcot are all great to like hit them up first thing in the morning, get them out of the way. And then if you find that the crowds aren't as bad as you thought, you can hit them up again before you head home for the day. And that would be my next tip for you, is if you have a big ride or a super popular ride that you didn't get on earlier in the day, do it last thing before you leave at the end of the day. Less walking, you'll be less, you're already going to be tired from your long day, so waiting in a line is maybe easier for you. If you are in line up until 1 minute before the theme park closes, they will let you ride on the ride before you leave. So if it's getting towards the end of the day and you still haven't made it onto Slinky Dog Dash or Avatar Flight of Passage, go ahead and get in line and get your one big ride on. So you can like still get it in for the day. But think about bookending your days with the things that have the longest lines, and that'll cut down on the amount of time that you're going to have to spend waiting in the other lines. So you can actually do this anytime that you're going, but this is especially valuable for when it's super crowded. If you are going to be in the parks and you're driving, okay, so transportation, your choices really depend on where you're staying and how you're getting there. In general, I still think that Disney's transportation is convenient, especially if you're staying on property. It's included for you with your stay. But what you need to know is if you're heading to a park at park opening time, everyone else is also heading to a park at park opening time, and there's going to be longer lines for the bus, for the boat, for the monorail, for the Skyliner. So build in extra time in your morning to include waiting in that line before you head to the theme parks. Don't wake up and think you're going to head right out the door. Add in some extra waiting time while you're waiting for your first transportation if you're trying to go at park opening. Now, the rest of the day, you're probably not going to have any issues waiting for transportation, but that rope drop crowd, that first thing in the morning crowd right when the park opens, that's going to be busy. So allow some extra time to be able to do that. Right now, we're seeing that some of the pools at some of the hotels are actually reaching capacity in the middle of the day. So if you're staying somewhere that has a really fabulous pool, I'm thinking Beach Club and Yacht Club with Stormalong Bay. If you're staying at Coronado Springs, the dig site, that big gorgeous pool that they have over there. The pools, believe it or not, have capacity limits as well. So during the busier weeks, the busier times, it is possible there may be a wait to get into the pool. If you're planning on visiting during a busy time and having some pool time, you're going to want to plan to go maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later in the day, or again, plan on waiting when you arrive, just in case. It's possible that there's not going to be any wait, but we have seen and heard that some of the pools reached capacity this week and some people had to wait to get in for their pool time. So just be prepared. Again, be prepared. Have the information, have the knowledge that you need, and that will help you have better expectations of how things are going to be when it's crowded. My last tip that I will give you for when it's crowded is place your mobile orders for your food earlier in the day rather than later. And that's because when it's super busy, a lot of the other guests are going to be trying to order lunch at the same time that you're going to order lunch, or try to order dinner at the same time you're going to order dinner. The way mobile ordering works is they don't prepare your food right when you place your order. So you don't have to worry about getting old or cold food. That's not going to happen. You use the My Disney Experience app on your phone. You can place your order at any point in time and you select your pickup window that you want. So what happens is the most popular pickup times fill up quickly. So like noon for lunch, or like 5:30 p.m., 6 p.m. for dinner. If you order earlier in the day, you can still change your order if you change your mind, but it gives you the chance to have the most options for pickup time. And then when you're ready to get to the restaurant and pick up your food, then you hit I'm here, and then they prepare your food for you. So the food is still made fresh for you. It just will allow you to have more choices of when you're going to pick up the food. Sometimes when it's busy, wait times can be an hour to an hour and a half before you can pick up your food, and you don't want to be stuck being hangry in a line, or you don't want kids who are hangry in a line because you waited to place your order. So while you're waiting, especially while you're waiting for your big ride at first thing in the morning, browse the menus, see what looks good, see what, what you think you might want to have for lunch, what you might want to have for dinner. Start building your order and choose your pickup time. You can always cancel it if you decide you're not ordering your food. You can always change your order if you changed your mind. Jen says, especially at Woody's, those times sell out fast. Yes, absolutely. And also, Woody's is delicious. Do yourself a favor and go grab everything on their menu is fabulous, but go grab some food from Woody's Lunchbox if you're in Toy Story Land at Hollywood Studios. Amazing. Tachos are to die for. Tachos, tater tot nachos. And they have their hand pies, their lunchbox tarts. We can't say the proper name that everybody knows them by, but they're handmade pastries that are filled, and they're so, so, so good. And Grown Ups lemonade, everything is good there. So definitely, if you're thinking of that or any other place, place your mobile order earlier if you're thinking about it. It'll help you later on when everybody else is very busy. And again, when you get there, you may have a wait to actually pick up your food. There will be a designated spot where you will go to pick up your food. So those are a couple of my tips of what you can expect, how you can sort of cut down on some of the madness of the crowds if you're visiting during a busier time. All of this and more, I provide all this information for my clients when you guys book with me. I also send you my recommendations of the best quick service restaurants and where you can find all the seasonal treats. I send that to everybody who's booked with me too, so you don't miss out on a single yummy, delicious thing while you're there. And you can mobile order almost all of them. So, that being said, let's jump to some of this week's vacation news. I already mentioned the big that we've been waiting for. Disneyland has finally started discussing their reopening plans. Yes! More than a year, this poor theme park has been closed and people are dying to get back. Jen says, another tip at Hollywood Studios. Some quick service restaurants close earlier than the park, so pay attention to those times. That's very true. Especially when it's crowded, Disney has been extending park hours. So when the park was closing at 6 or 7, maybe now it's closing at 8 or 9. Some of the food locations do not stay open later. So make sure that you definitely get your dinner plans in, and maybe grab a snack if you have to. I've definitely had a dinner of like a pretzel. I've definitely made a dinner of all the food booths at Epcot for one of their food festivals. There's no rules. You're at Disney. You can eat what you want. You could be a kid. You can have ice cream for dinner if you want. I've definitely done it before. And? Okay. Disneyland news. So, what we know so far is beginning April 30th, the parks, Disneyland Park and Disney California Adventure, are going to be open for California residents only. And they are opening the Grand Californian Hotel for California residents only. So, we're not getting, the whole country's not invited, not yet anyway. Holding on for that information. The Disneyland Hotel and Paradise Pier Hotel are not opening yet. Those are going to be delayed a little bit. And they're going to introduce a Park Pass reservation system, very similar to how Walt Disney World has been using their Park Pass reservation system since July. We don't know if it's going to be exactly the same, but there'll be some tweaks. The two parks aren't 100% the same. There's a lot of differences, actually. So, more information is coming in the next couple of weeks. We are looking forward to being able to share the information with you guys. I know I personally have a lot of people who are waiting. I know I'm waiting to go to Disneyland. We who don't live in California, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. So if you're interested in staying on top of that information, but you don't have time to search the internet and stay on top of it, I have a VIP list that's already going, and you can shoot me a message or send me an email and I will add you to my list. And as soon as we get information about booking, about the Park Pass reservation system, about any other information about Disneyland that's coming, I will personally reach out to you and make sure that you have it so that you're ready to go. So that's one of the services I offer for my clients as well. Okay. Disney Cruise Line announced their summer 2022 itineraries. Tons of fabulousness going on there. So what we recently heard is that Disney Cruise Line is optimistic to begin sailing again this fall. We don't have a date. We don't know exactly what cruising is going to look like once it returns. I'm sure some of the experiences are going to be a little bit modified. That's okay. Everybody's excited to get back to cruising. Can't wait to start. So Disney Cruise Line, starting next week, you're going to be able to book your itineraries for summer 2022. And they're going to return to the Bahamas. They're going to the Caribbean again. Of course, those all visit Disney's private island, Castaway Cay, which is fabulous. The only way to get to Castaway Cay is on a Disney cruise ship. Worth it. And then, let's see, we have Northern and Western European cruises. Mediterranean cruises are coming back, including the one that stops at the Greek Isles. Fabulous. And there is a transatlantic that's available for booking as well that will go from Miami to Barcelona. And then Alaska. So some of the most popular, most fun Disney Cruise Line itineraries will be available to book starting next week. If you have cruised previously with Disney Cruise Line, you do have priority access to booking, meaning you can book before the general public. So if you have questions or if you'd like to see the details of some of these itineraries, please send me a message, shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to get them for you. Let's get you set up so that when booking opens next week, boom, we'll get you on that, get you booked up, get your stateroom all secured for you, and get excited for a vacation next year, because I know all of us are so excited for the return of cruising. So Middle of the Magic Travel, my agency that I'm with, is working with a charity called Hope's Place, and we are offering you the chance to win a Disney vacation for $10. How's that sound? So there's a raffle. You can purchase raffle tickets. They're $10 a piece. And the grand prize that's being given away is a Walt Disney World vacation valued up to $4,500. It's pretty fabulous. I will post the information to my Facebook page later today, or you can go to hopesplace.org and find the information there and purchase your tickets. The raffle's open to everybody. You don't have to live there. You don't have to, be a member of anything. All you do is purchase your ticket and you're entered to win. So that's a pretty great opportunity and helps us support a great cause. And you can find out the information there. Booking alert for Hollywood Studios. So, remember I was talking about those park passes? So we already knew park passes for the Magic Kingdom for October 1st are already sold out because of the 50th celebration. So we have another sellout date for park passes, and that is May 4th is sold out at Hollywood Studios for May the 4th be with you. So if you're thinking of going to Walt Disney World in May, it's time to get your reservations together because they're starting to fill up. If you haven't made your plans yet, or you're not sure, I really recommend that you at least start putting your plans together. Get your park passes in place. You can always cancel or change your plans later if your travel plans change. But once the park passes are gone, it's very, very difficult to get more of them. So planning ahead is the best way to have the most options for what you want to do as far as what hotels are available, what parks you can visit with your park passes, all that kind of stuff. If all of that sounds like nonsense and gibberish to you, you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, I'm here to help you. This is what I do. I can walk you through every single step. I can explain all of it to you, all the reservations, how everything works. I am here to help you. My services are completely free when you book your vacation with me. So let's take all the hassle and guesswork and research. Don't spend all your time online trying to figure everything out yourself. Let me help you. I've already done all the research. I already know all the information for you. Utilize my information, my experience to make your vacation better. That is what I'm here to do. Don't go it alone if you don't have to. Last thing I will add is I still am offering my topiary challenge. If you're heading to Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival this season, it runs through July 5th. Excuse me, I do have my topiary challenge. I will post the link again to with this video below my on my Facebook page. I'll put it up for you, but it's a challenge to see how many topiaries you can find. How many can you take a picture of? I've got a little graphic that you check them off as you find them. Send it to me, however many you get, and you'll be entered to win a $50 travel certificate from me for your next vacation. Who doesn't want to save $50 off your next visit to Disney, right? So I'll put that information on my Facebook page later today as well. That's about it for me. I got to run. I got a lot of people to get reservations ready for. It is hopping. I'm telling you what. People are excited to get traveling again. People are excited to look forward to this year and next year travel. So if you want my help, if you want my assistance, if all of that seems overwhelming to you, don't worry. You can find me at saramatube@middleofthemagictravel.com. My email is sara@middleofthemagictravel.com. On my Facebook page, send me a message. Let's do one big cheers, cheers, cheers to the weekend. Do something fun this weekend, please. Try to relax, take care of yourself, get psyched for next week. It's going to be awesome. If you're on spring break, have a great time. If you're having crowds, take a deep breath, pack your patience, remember my tips, and I will see you guys next Friday.